There's a specific feeling that almost every event host recognizes. It's not panic because panic is loud. This is something quieter. It's this low-level hum that never seems to turn off. You're sitting down to dinner or trying to focus on your keynote and a thought slips in. Has that email sequence actually been finished? Does that checkout page that I created actually work? That constant vigilance that you have going on isn't because you're disorganized. It's because your setup has been treated like something to manage instead of something to actually build. And those two things behave very differently. Planning can stay open. You can revisit an agenda or refine a schedule and fine-tune it for as long as you want, really. But a setup doesn't work that way. Your infrastructure needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. Most hosts are very good planners. Planning is fluid. It's creative. It benefits from flexibility. You can change your mind about a session topic. You can change the timings of things. You can refine the experience and how you want it to feel. And that openness is an asset to planning. But the friction starts when that same mindset is applied to setting things up. Because the setup isn't a conceptual work, it's a structural work. A registration flow either works or it doesn't. An email sequence either fires or it doesn't. There's no almost finished version that works quietly behind the scenes. When your setup is kept open, nothing fully locks in, and that's what's creating that low-level hum that's just going on consistently in the background. When you treat setup like a side task, something that you squeeze in between all your other work, your brain never gets closure. You might make progress and you might build the pieces, but because it isn't finished, your mind is constantly checking in on it. Like, did I connect that? Did I finish that? What if something breaks? This isn't overthinking. It's your mind being vigilant. And your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's tracking unfinished things that could potentially cause problems later on. And that's why when things are even mostly done, you still feel slightly on edge. You're not waiting for clarity. What you're waiting for is completion. And until everything is finished, your nervous system refuses to stand down. So when setup is open like this, it can become hard to tell exactly where this tension is coming from. You just know that you're carrying it, and that's where clarity can help. I have a free event systems ROI audit that helps you figure out exactly what is incomplete in your systems, backend, or logistics. It'll help you see what's still asking for your attention. If that's something you're interested in, you can find it down in the description. When you start to treat your setup as a build, everything changes. A build has containment. It has sequencing. And most importantly, it has a finish line. Instead of bouncing between tasks, you move through the process intentionally. You build the offer, then the checkout, then the automation, and then the communication. Connections are made end-to-end, flows are tested together, and decisions are closed. And once that happens, something important changes. You stop trying to stay on top of things. Because finished systems don't need supervisions. They do exactly what they've been designed to do. And that's when trust replaces doubt. A lot of hosts hesitate to finish the setup because they equate finishing with rigidity. They worry that closing decisions too early are going to limit their flexibility. But the opposite is true. A finished setup actually protects your ability to be more flexible. It creates a stable foundation that allows you to move around freely. You can promote earlier, you can plan with confidence, you can focus on the experience instead of the infrastructure. And that's what steady leadership looks like. Not constant monitoring, but trust in what it is that you've built. And once setup is treated as a build, something else becomes clear. The real question isn't whether or not the build needs to be finished. Like, that answer is obvious and clear. The question is, how does that bill fit into your capacity as the host? The video on your screen explains what changes when that question is answered. You can head there next, and if you enjoyed this topic, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.